Sec, setting this up. You move over to a bit. Yeah, yeah. Hop on the stream. Move over a bit more. Yes, sir.
Up on the
Wait,
stream,
is it
okay.
live? Is it live on the stream?
Let's
Okay, let
see.
people
Let's see.
roll in. Oh shoot. Gotta let gotta let people roll in. Patrick broke the job market.
Hello, hello.
Are you able to see on the stream? Load it up. I have it so I can see your face. It's pretty funny.
I'm just watch. What you call? Gotta get past this ad.
Yo, Paul, what's up?
Oh, I see my face.
Okay, wait. Let me fix up my sound settings. Yeah, Patrick is gonna go watch a movie later today. What are you gonna watch, Patrick? That's why.
Mickey 17.
The heck? What is that? What is that about?
I don't even know what it's. I don't know what it's about. But you know the guy from Twilight, Edward, the main
Yeah.
vampire dude. He's in it.
They're asking if you're partying tonight. Cause you want you
No,
got yeah.
I'm waiting until April 15th. That's when
Why?
I'll party again.
Why are you
That's
waiting
when I
so
have my
long?
last time.
It's Tuesday. Got the club going up.
Huh? On a
Okay, we're gonna talk
Tuesday.
about Funny Apple. How was it? Did you think it was good?
No spoilers.
Oh yeah. No spoil, no spoil.
No spoilers.
Just don't read the chat. Oh, it's gonna... wait, let me update text render.
Let's go, Patty.
Farzan, you lock in on your apartment?
Yo, Farzan, thanks for that message, man. This guy hit me up on LinkedIn.
Oh really?
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
legend. That's legend. Everyone go follow Patty on LinkedIn too.
Everybody
Yo,
follow
Patrick,
each other.
build up that LinkedIn. We'll just do it naturally. We'll just all follow each other and do some nipple hires and stuff.
Nice. Really
Perfect.
funny. I had a friend just watch that movie, and she said kind of similar things.
B man, what's good? Let me just by a bit. Okay, Patrick, we're gonna cover a lot of ground today. I know you have your movie to watch, so we're just gonna.
So
That's why we
it's
started
like in
early
another
today.
like 3 hours.
Yeah. We'll only keep you here for an hour and a half. You're a busy man now that you have a full-time job.
Choo! Oh, my face is glitching out. Let me. Okay, there we go. Back in there.
Fahim, what's good? Yo, Fahim, congrats, bro. Is it for the one that we were talking about from before? Is it for yo, message me. We'll talk about it. Let's get it. Yo,
Nice,
everyone's
Vicky.
landing jobs.
Nice. Yeah, Raccoon.
Everyone's locked
There was
in.
no leak. There was no leak code questions.
Thank God, man. Thank God. Yeah, a job's a job. We're gonna talk about that in a sec. How's the audio, by the way, everyone? Can you hear Patrick? Can you hear me? Everything's good. Everything's good. Okay, let me get some water. Yo, Patty,
Yo.
answer the. Anybody got questions for Patrick?
Yeah. Yeah, Raccoon. There was no leak code questions, and Farzan. A lot of the questions that you guys asked me and what James asked me showed up on the interview. What did I do for St. Patty's Day? That's not for another 6 more days. Why are we sitting so far apart? Because we're in 2 different countries right now. He's just. I'm on a live call with him right now. He's just screen recording. Do I know Larry? No, I don't know Larry. Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob, maybe. W's in the chat.
Yeah, W's in the chat. W's in the chat. We're about to get into it. Let a couple people roll in. Let me just check everything on my end.
The
Patrick, more
hardest part
questions.
of being employed. Oh my god. Um, you're getting it? No, not as a new grad. I'm doing this is an internship.
Beautiful. Internship.
I'm still doing my undergraduate. Like I'm still doing my undergrad. I still have one more semester after this one to go.
No, he's graduating in. When are you graduating again? December 2020 something?
Ja- like I
2026? Sorry.
yeah, January 2026.
W in the chat. Caesar said W.
Caesar, the one and only.
Okay, got 18 people. We're about to start soon. Patrick, they're
Did I
asking you stuff.
did I intentionally make my graduation day weird or did it just happen? Oh, I got to see another app. Oh, but what you call it? This is my first internship, so it's not gonna affect. If I just do this one internship, then it's not gonna affect my graduation date. But if I do a couple of internship terms, like I do this more than 4 months, then it's gonna defer my graduation. Yo, thanks, Funny Apple. I appreciate that.
Lots of congrats. Lots of congrats. Okay, this is how I think we're going to structure this. Let's kick this thing off. Keep asking. Keep asking. Justin, today we're going to talk about how Patrick broke the job market or broke into tech basically. Because we've documented this whole thing from scratch, Patrick's journey. All the way from setting up his resume for the first time and then to what's it called? When he landed his first internship interview. Okay, so because I mean you only have
Right?
one shot, like the Eminem, like it's like the Eminem song. Like the Eminem song. He literally only has one shot. What's it called? And then we have some videos of Al's teaching him some object-oriented programming, some fun. We're diving deep into like how to structure classes and C++ pointers and stuff like that. And then what else did we do? Like everyone here was on stream when he was doing the behavioral preps and stuff like that. We were doing that as well. And then finally, I think this is gonna close off. It's not gonna. This is gonna be. This playlist is gonna be like 50 videos soon. Once this first up, this guy's gonna do this job. He's gonna kill it at this job, and then he's gonna move on to even higher paying jobs. He's gonna be learning a bunch of stuff on the way. We're gonna drop a bunch of videos on the way. But the fun thing is we documented literally in this video that I'm showing right here, we show his resume transformation. From like his old resume, which was showing like not very like non-technical stuff, all the way to like how we updated it. Yeah, exactly.
No way, Farzan. No way.
So yeah, let me talk about the structure of this video real quick. I think definitely we just want to we let's just go chronologically in order of what happened. Um, and then but we're gonna spend more time talking about his interview experience, and then actually one sec, I wrote this down. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
They'll kill me.
Wait till Patrick gets on that leak code grind. He hasn't really done that leak code grind yet, but we're gonna put him on some crazy leak code grind. That might actually fold him. So what we're gonna talk about is I mean first creating his resume at a high level. Because he literally when Patrick, like when did we're like looking at your resume and it was like still not good yet. That wasn't that long ago, right?
That wasn't that long ago. That must have, dude. That was literally like in maybe at the beginning of February or halfway through February that we changed it.
Applying for internships.
Let me see when I sent my. Let me see when I sent the. my resume to them. That's pretty
Interview
cool. So,
experience.
oh man, February 6th. February 6th is when we had the updated resume, the really good one, the
Yeah,
better
but
one.
when did you send it to me? You sent it to me a few times. And I looked over it. Let's see.
Yeah, so probably beginning of February we started. I sent you my resume. Like maybe just a little before February started, or just as February started, I sent you my resume.
Okay. This is what we're gonna cover: live Q&A, hot seat, the next steps. Do, Paul's asking, are you gonna keep applying or just take what you got?
Dude, I'm gonna take this. I still have other jobs that I applied to that never responded, but this is I'm for sure taking this one.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So
For
it's a really
sure.
good job, honestly. Okay, let's see. Okay, um, when I got my, cause job's never finished. Nah, you gotta celebrate it though. You gotta celebrate it though, for sure.
Oh,
Fahim, you're watching too much Kobe. There it is. Okay, I mean, let's just talk through your journey a little bit. So probably around February, we were creating your resume.
yeah.
Remember what your resume? Could you just talk about your experience of like crafting this resume? How was it?
Okay, so before I started asking James for help on how to for asking James to help on my resume, I had these other resumes that I. This is like the first year that I've been applying seriously for jobs and internships in the tech field. And before, I had a bunch of resumes that were very, very, very whack. Like, let me look at what one of these like earlier resumes. If yeah, 2003. Let me open up one of my old resumes here. Man, oh wait, this is the wrong resume. But basically, I just had nothing going on there. I had no relevant experience. I still don't have any relevant experience technically. Like I haven't worked in the industry yet. And then I also had oh man, let me look at this. See, this is like you. Okay, yeah, okay. This is a bad version. Okay,
No
so
relevant experience, bad
is that
formatting.
so I had like no relevant experience. I was like showing off that I had no relevant experience at the top of the resume. And this is like I've been oh yeah, this is like right after my first semester of coursework. And then in my projects, oh my god. Okay, I'll list out the projects that I had. This is like literally under technical experience under projects is what I said. Implementation of objects, classes, and header files. Created and maintained custom header files and improved code organization and reuse. A daily calorie calculator. Created a program in C++ that calculated an individual's daily calorie intake based on their age, weight, and activity level. A password generator. Designed and coded a password generation program with a variety of criteria that required various security standards. I've
Okay.
done a bunch of like random skills like C++, Visual Studios, GitHub. That was like my first resume that I was sending out to people.
And were you getting responses?
Hell no, hell
I
no.
remember.
This is like
I
now comparing
remember.
this resume to what I have right now. It's like,
It's night
dude,
and day, right?
it's like a like, dude, whoever man, the people who saw this first resume were probably like laughing. They're like, bro, what is this guy? Where does this guy think he's applying to right now with this resume?
I mean, I have a video of like this was a better resume. I think the format was a bit better. Okay, but I remember you had your employment and it was all like non-relevant, which
Yeah,
isn't bad because you actually didn't have any experience. So it's still good to show that you worked a job because that's not trivial too. Being able to work a job is a good thing to have on your resume. But I think did we push it down after? Oh yeah, okay, we pushed it all the way
we
down
posted
because
everything.
it's not
Yeah,
relevant. And then we also made your projects way more tech focused. as well.
Yeah, we made the projects seem, dude, these projects right here were like nothing projects. These were like literally terrible. What I had here before. And then the projects that we have on my resume right now, they look sick
Yeah,
or
they look
sicker.
way more intense. Like you're
Yeah,
talking
for
about all
sure.
this stuff, this new stuff.
Yeah, and there's all these like different technologies that I'm using in
Mm.
a bunch of, yeah, there's a bunch of
Yo,
different
sure.
technologies I'm
Send join
using
the
that
Discord.
uh,
Okay, so pretty much, so you actually got rejected from that same company that you just got a job from with this initial resume. Remember that? They rejected you
yeah,
on that?
yeah. So yeah, so I applied with this company. I applied for three different positions, and with the uh, first two positions, I applied with like the whack resume, and then the first resume, with the new resume, I applied to the position I felt was most relevant to my schoolwork, which was the Node.js developer, because the other ones were like they were data science and data analyst positions, but
Mm.
they were internships, and I applied to those ones, and those ones got rejected.
Yeah, I remember he came to me and he was just like, "Yo, I got rejected for the Node.js," and we were looking at the resume, and nothing about his last resume would even like signal that he knows anything about Node.js, right? He's talking about like some projects, some C++ header files, daily calorie counter, like a password generator, right? Nothing
Yeah,
about these projects would ever signal to me that this would be like he'll be able to hit the ground running really. But the fact is, he actually did have projects that will signal to me that are a better signal. So that's what we kind of did in his improvement. We kind of really tailored it to more Node.js development. You could see that here in his projects now. The projects we lifted it up so that they see it right away. We also brought his education up further as well, so they could see his relevant coursework. And then now you could see he's using more buzzwords that are used for actually getting a job in Node.js, like RESTful endpoints, JSON based communication, what else? Um, MVC. Like, these are way more technical. What else? Yeah, like look at his projects right here versus before. And then pretty much when he submitted this, they gave him an interview, which I thought was hilarious. And then, um, yeah, how did it feel to get your first interview? What did were you think? I remember you were freaking out after that too.
dude, I was getting my first interview. I was pretty, to be honest, bro, I was like, bro, I don't know. It's going to be like 50-50 basically if I'm going to get this job. That's how I felt going into it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because if you're, man, like, yeah, just because the job market is, oh, another thing that I learned is that there were, over the three different positions, there was like 700 applicants that sent in their
Wow.
resume. So I was like, there's going to be a big talent pool for this position. So I was pretty worried that I was going to like basically be paired up against people who really, really knew their stuff. We were
Mm-hmm.
like, super like technical. Like I was like, yeah, expecting like some type of kid that had a bunch of like outside school, some like nerd from the computer science club with like 100 different projects. That's why I was
Yeah.
kind of like, I was like, oh, those might be somebody that I might be like paired up against for this interview. So I was pretty nervous.
Yeah. Literally, dude, the job market is cooked like that. You'll get like 1,000 applications per like role being posted. But yeah, I think okay, we created the resume, ended up getting the interview. Let's just talk about preparation quickly. What did you do to prepare?
So a lot of that was just with you. So that was just me and you getting ready, and that was mostly just us doing the mock interviews. I feel like the mock interviews helped out a lot, and just getting the input from you and some of the people in the chat about what type of questions that they're going to be asking. I would That really really helped out with the interview portion. I feel like what really would have helped out is if I got more time actually using the technology that they're using the technology more of what they're asking me to use for the job. And I feel like, because I feel like going in after that interview, I felt like, man, if I just studied the technical portions a little bit more, I feel like I could have killed that interview. But I felt like I did like so during the interview.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so we talk about creating a resume, some preparation. Let's just get it straight into your interview experience. Can you walk us through what the interview was like?
Okay, so there was a panel of three people. I'm guessing he's like the head of the tech. I don't know, like the technical department or something like that. He's one of the heads, and they had two other people who were going to be giving me questions. So there was three people. The first guy, he just came in and he just asked me to throw in a pitch. He's like, "Yo, pitch yourself to me. Like, who are you and why do you want to work here?" And I threw him my pitch, and I think that he really liked the. I think like the opener was pretty good. I felt like I made a good impression with the first guy because uh, I mentioned a part of the intro was that I mentioned that I don't have work experience, but I really like the company's mission statement, and I feel like it's a very impactful company, and I want to be a part of something impactful.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like when I said that to him, he was like, okay, okay, interesting, okay. There might be a little bit more to him. And then
Was
right
it
away,
very similar to what we were preparing, or did you change it up?
it was remember the morning of that interview, I sent you my new pitch. Do you remember like my new pitch? Do you remember what it
Let's see.
was?
Let's see.
I just condensed it a lot and said that I was getting into backend development and I'm really interested in it. And the only thing that I changed is that he kind of asked two questions. He's like, when we were preparing, you were just asking me like, give me a pitch of yourself.
Yeah,
But he was like, tell me about yourself and explain why you want to work here. So at
I
the end,
see.
I explained to him why I wanted to work here. That was like I kind of added that on the fly, kind of.
Okay, let's listen to your pitch the right before you hopped in.
Okay, it went something like this. I don't
Hi,
know
my
if
name
I'll
is
remember
Patrick. I'm a computer science
number
major in
two.
my fourth year at the University of Lethbridge.
Oh,
I've covered a variety of different courses and interests, taking high-level courses like cryptography and artificial intelligence. I've also done a bunch of software engineering and development courses where I had to tackle large-scale projects and programs. Some of these school projects include creating my own text-based adventure game and creating my own mini interpreter. I've also done some things on the side in my own personal time. I've created landing page clones. Like I've created a landing page clone of YouTube, and I created my own portfolio website. And right now I'm taking a software engineering course where we're actually building a web application using things like APIs, Node.js, and JavaScript. And while I may not have professional experience, I am a quick learner and I am very excited for the opportunity to contribute my technical skills at the AER.
Nice, solid. So yours was similar to that when you did it.
yeah. Basically, the only thing that would have changed is that I didn't say, "Oh, I've been working with APIs and Node.js." What I changed that to was I've been taking a software engineering class where we're building our own web application, and uh, right now we're getting into backend development, and it's really gotten me interested in backend development. So that's kind of why I'm here. I think that's why I kind of ended. I didn't say Node.js or REST APIs or anything like that. I just said backend development. That's all I changed it to.
I see. Okay, so in your interview, they first told you to introduce yourself. What
Yeah.
else did they ask you?
They just asked me to introduce myself, and then they asked, "Why do you want to work here?" So it was like a combination. The guy's like, "Why do you tell me a little bit about yourself? Summarize who you are and why you want to work here."
Okay, and then
And
you
then
said that when you answered, they actually really liked your answer.
yeah, I felt like it because I was like, "Why do I want to work at the AERs?" Because I really want to contribute my skills to projects that have real world impact, and what better place than the AER, where with a sector as vital as energy in a province like Alberta, where you're literally impacting millions of people's lives every single day. I can't think of a better project to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
I said something like along those lines,
Okay.
and then he's like, okay, good, nice.
What else did they ask? Just walk us through more.
Then okay. So then right after that, he's just like, okay, we're gonna ask you some technical questions, and this is where I was like in the hot seat because I felt like out of all the portions of the interview, the technical one was definitely the one where I kind of like was on my tippy toes and kind of struggling. And the way that it was a girl that was asking, she's like a part of the tech crew or whatever, and she was just asking us. She was like, "What? Oh, man, I wish I could remember the questions better, but." she started off by asking about the project. Like she's like, "Hey, you work with a project that does like the REST API, the blackjack application.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?" And I gave her like a overview, like a little overview of what the project is.
Mhm.
And then she started asking me a little bit more technical, in-depth questions.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, "Okay, so with your project, man, see, I can't even, I don't even know how."
I wrote it down. I remember.
Okay, you remember the questions? Okay.
Yeah, I remember. This is what they're asking you. They're telling you. Okay, first they said you had 3 interviewers and they said first tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
Then they're asking about a database, like what database? You said you're using a
Yeah, yeah.
database?
They were like asking like like how are you, man, I can't remember exactly what they were asking, but essentially what they're asking for is how does your project work? How does it like use the like how are you like what database are you using? How are you sending and receiving information from that database? How is like how does all your project like work together?
How does the front end connect to or communicate with the back end, right? They're
Yeah,
saying that?
like yeah, exactly. Like yeah, questions like that.
Okay. How did you respond to how your front end communicates with the back end?
Man, how did the front end communicate with the
Did you
back
know
end?
or you're just making stuff
I, w-
up?
I was just out. Basically, what I said was something along the lines of you send a request to the server or something like that.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, what I said was that the way that we send requests, I was like, oh, I said something along the lines of like, oh, these are REST APIs that we're designing, so we have to use the HTTP methods to send requests and receive data for the send data to the user or something like that. I think I said something like whack like that. Basically, every technical question,
Yeah.
they every technical question, yeah, exactly. Is exactly.
Okay.
Um, every
Okay.
technical question,
Oh
I
yeah.
felt like I could give them the answer, but I could never really explain the answer to them. Like they'll be like,
You
okay,
just threw every buzzword that we taught you right before, right? Like API, HTTP,
dude, I just
get
yeah,
post
I
verbs.
just literally tried to like make as many connections in my head as possible. I was like, okay, this kind of makes sense. Okay. And yeah, dude, she was grilling. I felt like she was grilling me a bit. There was like some questions that she asked me were like, tell me a time where there was tell me a time where you had to like step up and learn new technologies, or oh well, first like, or something like for this project, what challenges did you face? What
Mhm.
new technologies did you have to like figure out and understand?
Yeah.
She asked me a question like that. And what resources do you use to learn? She's
Yeah.
like, how do you learn? Like, how do you if you need like new if you like what resources do you use to learn new technologies and implement new technologies?
And then what'd
She
you
asked me
say?
a question like that.
'Cause what'd you
That
say
one
to
I
that?
said that one I was like, oh, I'm a part of like a computer science club. So we have a Discord where we share information, and we have a lot of classmates that are in that computer science club. So their classmates who are also working on the project. So they're a resource that I can go to help me understand what we're trying to do and what we're trying to implement. And then I mentioned like Google, YouTube, Reddit. And then I also mentioned you. I was like, oh, I also have friends who work in tech. So, for example, my friend James, he was the one that helped me create a YouTube landing page clone, and he kind of like mentored and guided me through this simple project, helping explain and debug it with me. So that was kind of my answer for the technical for that question, where she asked like, how do you like learn new things?
Yeah. Okay. This is what they asked him specifically. They asked him what is Node.js, and he is able to like. They asked you that, right? How did you answer
Yeah,
that?
yeah. They're like, what is the very first question that she asked me was, what is Node.js?
And we
And
were
I answered
literally
that
studying that.
cleanly.
Like I
I
asked
was
you that
like,
like 6 times on the stream.
I was like, Node.js is a coding environment that lets JavaScript work outside the browser. And she's
Okay.
like, nice. And then after that, she started grilling me.
Okay. He answered that perfectly, and then she asked, okay, how are you running Node.js?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, how are you running
And what did you
Node.js?
say? How are you
Man,
actually running Node.js?
how am I actually running Node.js? Well,
Yeah.
the thing is that like we're just starting this part of the project. We're just starting this part of the project
So you
that
actually never ran Node.js, right?
I've run Node.js like
Okay.
once by myself, just
How'd you
like
do it?
I just I installed it onto my I installed it and then I just ran I just made like a quick little thing that said hello world.
Okay. How'd you run Node.js? Did you do Node and then the name of the file?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
That's
Node
exactly what
hello.
she.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she was asking you to say. Like, how are you running it? You installed it onto your computer and you
Oh,
ran
okay.
it.
You know what I thought she was asking was just like I thought she was asking how are you using Node.js?
Hmm.
I thought she was asking like how is Node.js helping you connect to like your server and your client? I
I
thought that's
see.
what she was. I thought that's what she was asking me, not
Okay.
like how you're literally running it out of like Visual Studio Code.
I see. Yeah. So yeah, the answer to that is like you just ran it by literally installing it and calling Node.js on your JavaScript file. Yo, GMT, the context of this is Patrick here landed his first job as a backend. He got his first backend internship. So we're just talking about how he was able to break into tech. Everyone knows that the market is really cooked right now. And he's talking about his interview experience and how he broke into tech. I think earlier we already just talked about creating the resume and how he prepped. And now we're going through the interview experience. And everyone, a lot of the people in this chat were here to watch him actually learn this stuff. He was here when we're kept asking what is Node.js, and he finally got it right. And then they asked, that's the first question they literally asked him in the interview. But we didn't go deeper into saying how does Node.js even work. But okay, and then they asked him how does the front end interact with the back end. Can you answer that?
How does the front end uh, interact with the back end? The way that I said this, I said something like, yeah, so the uh, the the front end will I said something like the front end will send a client request using HTTP methods
Yeah.
to the server, and the server retrieves whatever information your whatever information you're looking for and sends it back to the front end.
I think that's a good answer. That's what you said? Because initially
Yeah.
you said something else.
No, because you said it's client and server, or you said client, you said not front end. You said client or something like that. You said that was a.
No, that answer was good, but I remember you told me you answered it differently. Like you said, the server initiated the connection or something. I think you changed
Oh,
up your answer. I think what you said there is a good answer though. Chat saying that's literally the answer.
okay. I feel like that's how I answered it. I feel like that's what I said to her, and then I felt like when I was reviewing it with you, you're like, it's the client that sends the request.
Yeah, the client sends the request and the server responds. That's what you just said right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, that's a good answer.
but I
So
said front end. I was like the front end sends a request to the server and it gets information and sends it back.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's how I answered it. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah. Everyone's saying that's a good answer. So most of the technical questions were just related to Node.js. Did they ask anything about like the internet? Did they ask anything about what is TypeScript? What is JavaScript?
No, but no, but I did mention TypeScript on my own accord. I was like, yeah,
It's gonna use
type.
every buzzword in the book. What do you
I
say?
I said for the TypeScript, that was one related to. She asked me a question like, what were like some learning curves for you? Oh, I think the way that I answered this one was that there were some learning curves. Like understanding TypeScript was easy for me because the syntax is very similar to C++, but um, understanding how to structure the APIs was something that we've never done before. I think I said something like that. I think I mentioned something about actually setting up the APIs. I think that's what I said was the hard part
Hmm.
of learning.
Chat and throw in questions, chat, for questions you have, Patrick. Okay, so what else? So let's just continue with the technical stuff. Is all Node.js really? Node.js stuff, backend stuff,
Yeah, it was all just Node.js stuff. Yeah,
APIs.
Yeah, and basically, oh man, I wish I could remember exactly what she. There was like one question that she kind of like I had to answer like 2 or 3 times because I forgot what she said exactly, but she said something and I was like, yeah, it's this, and then she's like, I know it's that, but can you explain it? And I just said, oh, it's this, and then she's like, yeah, I know it's this, but try to explain it to me. And I like just said, oh, it's this again, and then she's like, okay, we're moving on to another question.
Damn. I think you probably did better than most candidates too because you actually prepped these answers. Like, even if I'm a Node.js developer and I didn't, you could be a Node.js developer and never study what Node.js actually is and why they created it. You know what I mean,
I feel you.
okay, and then they went into some situational stuff. Like, tell
Yeah.
me about a time you had a disagreement. Right? They asked you that.
Okay, yeah. So then I feel like so basically if the interview came in acts, the first act was the introduction. I felt like I killed it. The second act was the technical part. I was like, okay, struggling, kind of fumbled. And then the third act was the situational. I felt like I did pretty good on this one. And yeah, that one I was just basically what I said was that me and I did the star method. I made sure that I was doing the star method.
Mm-hmm.
And before the after I did my intro, actually the guy who was like the main speaker, he said that he's like we're gonna ask you some situational behavior questions, and we're expecting a star method. Like he specifically said, we're looking for your answer to be like the star method.
Did you hear about the star method until our mock preps and stuff, or you know?
I remember hearing you say star method like a year ago. I remember like vaguely hearing you talk to somebody about the star method, and I kind of like understood. I kind of understood what it was, but I didn't know exactly what it was. But it's very simple. Just situation, task, action, result.
Yeah, we have it
That's
on stream. Like when we talk about it, but like, did you have your star stories prepped? Supercracked is asking already.
Yeah, I did. So the first one was the how did you handle? But they asked me some questions that I wasn't prepped for. So if, for example, they asked what did you do for the disagreement? How do you handle it? And I just said me and my teammate had a disagreement. We wanted to build the code 2 different ways. We built a little part of the code. We tested it, and then we saw that my version of the code was better. And then we delivered on a strong project. And even our professor made a comment about how nice and structured our code was. So that was the first part of the
Yeah,
answer.
we
And
asked you
then
that on stream multiple times. I remember you answered that. Like you, we worked on that story like 6 times, 7 times over.
yeah. And then he added, okay, but what would happen if you couldn't reach an agreement?
Uh huh.
And we didn't practice that one.
Okay.
And for that, I just said if we couldn't reach an agreement, I would just go look for somebody who has like better knowledge or a superior who understands what has to be done, and
Mm-hmm.
ask them for their opinion, and I'll just do whatever they tell me to do. And I think they like that question. They like that response. They asked me when was a time that you had a tight deadline and you had to manage a bunch of tasks,
Mm-hmm.
and we practiced that one too. I said that was the midterm story. Remember, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I had a midterm and I delegated tasks to my project members to help
Yeah.
me, help give me some breathing room for myself.
Mm-hmm.
What other questions did he ask? Mm,
Favorite
he
project
oh,
and why?
yeah, he asked me what my favorite project was, and I explained to him it was the text-based adventure game. We worked on that one. I said basically the collaborative element to it, and the learning curve was awesome because it switched my thinking from being a programmer to a software engineer, and I think he liked that as well.
Nice. What else? Just three situational?
Um, three the course. I'm trying to remember. I wish I could like take. I wish I was taking like notes during this because then I would have came back with exactly what happened. But I couldn't. I can't remember any other questions right now.
Okay.
It was like, what was your favorite project? What was a hard like deadline with multiple tasks? Your favorite? Can't remember. I can't remember anymore. Those were the three. And
Okay.
then basically after the situational, they kind of started wrapping up the interview, and they asked me if I had any questions for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I kind of did a little bit weak on this part, like the closing off, because my first question was, can you explain what you guys are working on, like what your project is? And the guy just went into one of the technical guys just went into like a crazy high level detail about what he was doing and what they were working on. And he was
Mm-hmm.
talking for like a solid 10, 15 minutes. He just took over the interview. And then after that, it was so funny because I was making like little comments on the side. I was like, interesting. Wow, sounds like a dynamic environment. Cool. Fast paced. That's awesome. And he was also, yeah, so that was that part. And then after that, they asked me if I had any more questions, and I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just wrapped it up. They're like, okay, well, that was really good. It was nice to get to know you, and we'll send you a reply like if you got the job or not within a week. Like next week, we'll send it to you.
Okay, they got into. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, let's see what else. And then you felt that you didn't have great answers to this. Like you didn't prep that
Yeah.
part enough.
Like yeah, we didn't prep for it, so I didn't have a good question on the fly. But I talked to one of my friends afterwards, and he told me we were just like talking, and I felt like he gave me a good question. What a question I should have asked him was something along the lines of, you know, I just have like a very basic knowledge of what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
So for somebody like me who's getting into backend development and working at the AER, what does it look like to learn at the AER? Like what am I going to be learning, and how am I going to learn? Who am I going to be learning with?
I see.
I feel like that would have been like a good question to end it off with type
I
of
see.
thing.
Okay, what would be your advice to someone who has to go through an interview like this? Like, if you could go back in time and prepare yourself, what would you have done differently?
What I would have done differently to prepare for this, the first thing I would have done is get that resume like just looking nice right off the bat. I feel like the resume was nice. I feel like a big part of for me was that I was scared to even apply for jobs because I was scared that like my projects and what I because I don't have any work experience, so I was scared that people were gonna like. I feel like there was like a lot of things working against me. Like I took like a long time. Like I'm 28, so it's been a couple. And I went to university, took a break, and then I came back to university after like 6 or 7 years. And I don't have any like relevant work experience, so I was like really nervous about applying to jobs because I was like, bro, like I feel like I don't know anything. But I feel like applying the jobs gets the ball rolling, and it kind of like forces you to learn some stuff because you want to be a little bit prepared for the interviews if you actually get them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like reaching out to all of your connections is like you should reach out to everybody and anybody you know that could possibly know of like a tech job app like position, because like I had a little bit of help with the AER. Well, I had a little bit of help with this job because it was like a sister's friend. It was one of my sister's friends that referred me to the job posting. So I feel like having referrals is like super 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 important. I feel like um, that's super important. And then I feel
That's like
like,
classic nepotism.
of course,
Of
man,
course,
dude,
you gotta use
it's,
your connections.
it's who you know, bro. I'm telling you, it's actually who you know. But that's like but the thing is that that's not the only thing because I have friends that work in a bunch of different companies, and they've given my resume to as a referral to hiring managers before, and other hiring managers have declined me
Mm-hmm.
before an interview. So this was the first hiring manager that actually liked the resume that was referred to them.
Okay, actually, yeah, actually have a good resume. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, have a good resume. And
Because
when they sent the resume, they would tell you like, oh, it doesn't really match what we're looking for, kind of thing. That's how you knew they
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
like the
like
resume.
I had one job that I applied. I applied for a Suncor job. I had a friend's wife uh refer me there too. But it was that resume that we first saw at the beginning of the stream. That was the one that I handed in. So they were probably like, "Bro, what is this? Is this guy? Is this the right referral? Is this guy the right? Is he looking at the right job?"
Yeah.
So I feel like the combination of the referral and actually having a good looking resume was the one that gave me the chance this time around.
What else?
Prep, bro. I feel like prepping with you was really really important. Uh, because not only did you give me some questions, it's one thing to know the questions that they're going to ask you, but it's also good to practice answering the question that they're going to ask you and actually getting all the ums and uhs and stutters out of your answers.
Yeah. Like we
That
did
was
like
really
so
important.
much mock interviews. Some people they'll just hop in that interview and never have done a mock in their life. I think mock interviews are very very important.
Yeah, because I feel like in a different universe, if you told me those were the questions, but I never practiced doing a mock interview, and maybe even if I knew a little bit more of the technical side, I feel like just at the beginning, remember how long my pitch was so long at the beginning of our
It was
when
only
we
like
first
6 minutes, bro.
yeah, it was like 6 minutes. So even if I knew what the questions were ahead of time and I came with them and I had better knowledge, but I came with them with that pitch, I feel like that wouldn't have it really impressed them. Because I don't know, the pitch that I delivered was, I feel like it was the hook. I feel like it hooked the guy, to be honest. The way his eyes were looking after I said that pitch, he just raised his eyebrows. He's like, okay, interesting. This one might actually have potential. So that was
Nice.
yeah, I feel like the mock interviews was really helpful. And then obviously going over using the technology. I feel like what have really would have like killed made me kill it is if I got way more time with the technology, like the tech stack or whatever. If I actually got like way more time to use
Bro,
it,
you had time.
I had time,
Oh
but
yeah, but you had your interviews.
I also
Oh
had
yeah, midterms.
to do my midterms and
Yeah,
stuff like
shit.
that too. So I had to like delegate. I had to delegate tasks and stuff like that. Like this was I was like more I was more about doing my midterm, and I was about doing more my midterm and my project and make sure I hand those in and do good on those than I was worried about this interview.
Yeah. No, that's I think even like in the future too, when they're
For
like,
real.
"Oh, tell me about a time you had so much deadlines." Be like, I literally had this time when I had some really tight deadlines. I was in the middle of midterm season. I had a interview for my first ever internship position, and I had to balance between studying this internship, which wasn't completely unrelated to all my coursework at the time, and actually doing well on my midterms, and then talk about that situation of like, okay, what I did instead of to get more bang for my buck, I was doing mock interviews with my friends. I was reaching out to people that mock interview me, and then that really helped me prepare in a shorter period of time, and I ended up doing well in my midterms and also getting my first internship. Like you'll be able to turn that into a good story.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Get that one a good yeah.
Okay, I also wanted to talk about this point is because I noticed too, like you had a bit of imposter syndrome with your first resume. You're like, oh, I have this resume. I actually, you're like, oh, I don't think I've accomplished anything. I don't think I could build a good resume. But like even with what you just had initially, we built a good resume without you even having to go out and do projects. We just had to dig really deep into your coursework.
Yeah, dude, that was like such a funny moment for me because I feel like I was just obsessed with the one project that I did, like that text-based adventure game. I felt like I was just like really just obsessed taking over it. And then when you're telling me, I remember I feel like you're like, "Yo, bro, just think, man. Like you've done more things." And I thought about it. I was like, "Oh yeah, actually, I've done like a project in a couple of different classes." So like, I don't know why I was so fixated on that one thing. And yeah, I've done a project in four different classes now. And then
Yeah.
also we did the YouTube landing page clone on the side, which was one, and the website portfolio, which was another one.
Yeah, and I remember you were also mixing up. I remember right before your interview, you were also mixing up all your projects, like your school ones and outside. And then we talked about let's break it into a portion. Like in school, I did this,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
I actually learned. I actually like take the time to study things outside of school. Outside of school, I built this YouTube landing clone, and I built my own personal portfolio.
yeah. That I mentioned that during my intro. I said that I have school projects, but I've also taken time to do projects outside of school. I
Yeah,
think they like
I
I
think
like
it's
that.
important too, because it shows
Yeah,
you have initiative like outside, and maybe you're a bit passionate about technology and stuff that you're actually willing to do stuff outside school. Because you need to set yourself apart. Everyone's doing school projects. Like, I mean, if you go to school, obviously you're gonna get projects done. But so, I mean, then you're just gonna be as good as everyone else if you just have projects that are from school. But you had ones outside of school, which definitely helped.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
feel like
so oh, go
I
ahead.
feel like over, oh, Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, go.
I felt like overall, um, even though I didn't, I feel like honestly, I feel like the overall, even though I didn't have like the most technically strong answers, I feel like because I was answering the behavioral and situational pretty well, and I was giving them the impression that I'm like very excited to work for the company and very excited to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what kind of gave me the. This is totally anecdotal. This could be I could be making all this stuff up, but just like the impression that I felt like I left with the interviewers, I feel like that's what they really liked about me the most.
I see. Okay. They want to work with you. Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, so moral of this story too is if you think your resume sucks, just dig deep into what you've worked on in school and structure your bullet points better. Like here, like initially he kind of just described
That's funny, Liam.
what's it called? What's here? Here he kind of look at the projects. He's like, "Oh, we implemented objects, classes, and header files." And then later he changed that to look at the difference between these two bullet points or this like the resume here and here. And I'm just showing this so like everyone can go update their resume if they think that they're not getting jobs because their resume sucks. If you think your resume is already good, don't listen. Don't even take this advice. But you could see this is the bottom one here for the text-based adventure game. Created and maintained custom header fills. Didn't even spell it right, and
Oh no.
it improved code organization. Like
Oh
the
my
grammar is
god.
kind of bad.
Imagine that showing up to the Suncor hiring office. Oh my god. They're
Okay,
probably
and then
like,
after when we fixed it up, it's like you built an interactive text-based adventure game. You collaboratively developed a modular C++ text-based adventure game using polymorphism and design pattern and reduced code duplication. You followed solid and dry principles, incorporating OOP techniques to enhance maintainability. You use Git version for version control and implemented CI/CD pipelines to maintain code quality consistent, achieving over 90% code coverage. You see how these are way more results oriented and using way more buzzwords and stuff that will actually be picked up by like an AI or ATS that's like indexing you based on like the buzzwords used in the job posting.
yeah, yeah, it looks so much more better. That
Like look,
first
that
one is
bullet
so
point versus that other one is crazy, right?
yeah, the first one is so embarrassing. Oh my goodness. I can't even believe oh man, I must have embarrassed that friend, the one who gave me the referral to the other place. Oh man, I must have embarrassed his wife a little
Languages and
bit.
technologies like C++, OOP. Like you basically said, but and then how did we fix that? I think we fixed it up
It's the
even.
skills at the bottom.
See, yo, look at the skills now. And then like before, the languages like you have way more languages and stuff. It's just a night and day better resume, honestly. Like even with the YouTube
Yeah,
clone,
look.
like you're talking about Flexbox and using grid. Before you didn't really say anything related to technology. So we don't really know how you built it, but if like as someone who does some front end development, if I know you know how to use Flexbox and Grid, I automatically know that you know a little bit more than the average person on HTML and CSS.
I wish I gave you I wish I gave you like the intermediate, like the in between, because there was one more resume that we had in between these two resumes that was a little bit better. It was like the intermediate step between these two. It was like the intermediate step where we move things around. Yeah, we moved things around, but the yeah, like I have a version of my resume here where the projects are the text-based adventure game, the YouTube clone, and a personal portfolio website. It's
Yeah.
like a little bit different, and yeah, just changing up those projects and then knowing what to actually write for those bullet points. I felt like helped bolding. I don't know. What do you think about the bolding technique? Do you think
I
that's
think
smart?
it doesn't really I think it doesn't really matter. I mean, some people like it, some people don't. It's more perspective. I think the main difference that made your resume better is it's way more technology focused. Like and instead of saying exactly of instead of just talking about your projects of like it's way more technology focused. Like look how much buzzwords are in this project section now. Model view controller, RESTful endpoints, JSON, HTML, JavaScript, Lambda, what's it called? Polymorphism, code coverage, flexbox, grid, like, and then like look at this one. Like there's no buzzwords at all.
Just even looking at it, it's so ugly, man. Look how much extra white space there is on that first one, and then how much text is you taking up space in the second one.
And even the languages and technologies, like I only know C++, plus, and you don't even like break it down into like what are the languages. Like C++ plus
Yeah.
plus is in the same area as OOP, right?
Oh, no.
Right?
Yeah,
But now
man.
like later you kind of break it down into like you see right here you have languages, right? Now you broke it down to more languages that you know. Then you talk about the different tools. Then you talk about like some web development stuff like you know React, and that really is a buzzword. Whereas like recruiters love that.
React.
I don't know. Yeah, I think yeah that like we're just gonna keep improving your resume from there. But now you kind of have a good base to always go off of. Like your resume is solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Yo,
yeah, man.
chat. Ask him questions if you have any questions. Otherwise, we're gonna just talk about the last part, which is what is his next steps now that he got his thing. Like chat. Anybody got questions for Patrick? Let's see. I mean, like I got one. While the chat's gonna, if the chat has any questions at the same time, I'm gonna ask you. I mean, like, how was studying for the technical portion? What would you have done differently there?
I feel like we did a good job studying, but what would have really helped is if I got like had my hands on the like actually the technology, like actually like coding and coding more in Node.js, actually like creating like API, like doing more of those type of things. I feel like would have helped me understand things more. I was just looking at the project. It's so funny because now we're just starting the project with the REST APIs, and me and my group members were reading over what we have to do and what we have to implement,
Hmm.
and I understood what we had to do, which was kind of funny. I was like, okay, well now I think I actually understand what we have to do for this project.
Yeah, now you pretty much under like what was it saying? Like build some HTTP endpoints, have like a
Yeah,
post, get, delete.
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
We gotta like show that we can call like a couple of different
Yeah,
like functions
I see.
from
Okay,
our
so how did it feel to get the job? Now let's get to that portion. Like we talked about getting this job, the interview. Every interview is a hard interview. Look at this guy had
dude.
to study so hard just to get this job. The market is hard. But I think yeah, like you probably had to study harder for that than any other interview you've ever had, huh?
That was definitely that interview had the most technical questions I've ever had in an interview before. That was definitely the most. Even I even when I was talking to my sister, she was surprised because she doesn't work in tech, but she works in business, and I told her about what I had to answer, and she was surprised about how many technical questions there were.
Yeah, so how does it feel to now have broken into tech and land
Man,
your first
dude, I'm
Node.js
so
job?
happy. Everybody in the chat, there's hope, man. Honestly, that dude, I'm so happy because I felt like I felt the cards were stacked against me because no relevant work experience, got like huge gap in my education, and I'm older. I'm like 28, 29, and I just felt like there was like ageism. There's ageism in the work industry. So I was just like, holy and yeah, and I felt like there were. I really felt like the cards were stacked against me. But I know, man, there's hope, bro.
There's
There's
hope.
hope. If a bucko like me can get a job, there's a hope, bro. If a bucko like me. So if anybody in the chat, I feel like if you're looking for a job or an internship and you're struggling or it feels daunting or it feels scary, it's doable. It's doable. As long as you're even like not even smart, I feel like if you're average smart, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
We did it.
We did it, man. Holy smokes.
So, okay, now when's your start date and what are you gonna do to prepare before you start?
So I asked ChatGPT to break this down for me actually. So I start at the beginning of May and it goes until the end of August. And obviously, what I want to do is that I want to. I'm hoping for is that I do good enough at this job that they give me like a callback offer. Like that's what I want. Like I think that's what I want to do, and I have it broken down here on GPT. What I'm gonna do is backend fundamentals. I'm gonna work on we're learning Node.js and learning Express.js. Then I'm gonna start learning about REST APIs and HTTP requests. And then I'm gonna start using TypeScript, SQL, and Azure DevOps. Yeah, like kind of like play around with these.
Azure
And
DevOps.
then learning API testing with Postman
Nice.
and learning integration testing with Node.js.
And you want to learn this all before you start your new job, or you want to learn it
Like
on the fly?
I don't want to be like I don't think they're expecting me to be like perfect for the job, but I want to be like I want to be like I want to hit the ground running type of deal. I want to be like I don't want them to be like, oh man, we made a mistake. I want them to be like, okay, nice, we made the right choice with this guy.
No, I think it's important, like because first off, you need to get that return, or you want to get a return offer. Like you might not take it, but that's leverage for other jobs too.
Yeah,
You can you can have competing offers.
it's the it's a energy regulator that in the province that I live in, Tom.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna learn all these new things, and you said 2 months before it, before.
Yeah, I have until May 9th or May 6th, so a little under 2 months.
Okay, this is perfect. All right, I don't even know. I think that's pretty much it. Like Patrick got the job. He broke into the market. Where's that? I need to grab the thumbnail. This thumbnail is hilarious.
We did it. We did it, chat. We did it. Dreams are possible. Oh my goodness.
This is a
Yeah, man.
legendary.
Dude, that is so funny, man.
Look,
We did
Node.js,
it.
Node.js second place, TypeScript
TypeScript
third
third
place. Let's
place.
get it.
Oh, the
Beat the
Kings.
job market.
Oh,
Beat the
on
job
top. Let's
market.
go.
All right, give a motivational speech for anyone who's trying to beat the job market just like you.
Dude, man, I'm just telling you guys. Even if you're a bucko, sucko, average intellect type of like person, I feel like as long as you aren't scared and you're putting in the work and you're sending out all the applications that you can and you're preparing the best that you can, I feel like you have a good chance. Like I feel like I could have even prepared even better for that interview and delivered on like a way crazier like interview for those people. So even if I feel like I was underprepared and I still got the position, I feel like you just have to, yeah, even like like an average bucko can get a job in this market. Still, it's still possible. It's still possible.
Sick, man. I hope everyone's motivated. I hope everyone else beats the job market. If you're not already part of the Discord, hop in the Discord because everyone's landing jobs in that Discord. This it might be, if it might be the most successful Discord right now when it comes to the job hunt. like
It's good,
like
man.
everyone's getting jobs. We got people interviewing for quad roles in New York, getting jobs. We got people getting into Salesforce. Patrick breaking into a energy regulator. Um, we just have
I
tons of
did,
people getting jobs.
and like our preparation like it was very short. Like I feel like when I actually buckled down and prepared and started using the right preparation techniques, that's when I started like gaining the confidence to. I started gaining a lot more confidence, and I'll yeah. Because
Yeah,
if you think about it, we haven't been like working. We didn't start working until like the end of December. Like that's like I can't remember the first time we actually like
bro.
made a
And
video together.
yeah, also there's not that many real videos of YouTube videos where people can simulate a real behavioral interview. But I've been on the other side of these behavioral interviews, and on the side where I have to give the interview. And we're literally like, if you watch me and Patrick behave or preparing for behavioral interviews, that's literally how the behavioral interviews usually go. Situational star format. Tell me about yourself. That's exactly how it goes. So Patrick, you're ready, and you're just only gonna get better from here.
Yeah, man, I'm ready. Freaking, what I'm thinking, two
What's your next
years.
goals? Yeah, what's your goals?
I wanna get here. I wanna work here and work a lot, just gain a lot of experience. So I feel like I'm like really industry ready. And then I want to move somewhere like maybe Texas and get a developer position in Texas, and hopefully make a little bit more money in the future. But this is good for me right now. This is all I know. This is all I need right now.
Yeah, this is it's already a lot, anyways. Um, what like did they asking what was that? What was the role like? What are you gonna be working
Yeah,
on?
like I can't remember. I never asked them what the role is gonna look like, but I remember when the guy's giving like his overall view of the projects that they're working on. He kind of mentioned he's like, yeah, and that's at one portion he mentioned what we're gonna be doing, and a lot of it was just testing. That's what he said. Like I can't remember what exactly we're gonna be testing, but I'm gonna imagine it's like something to do with the API, like testing the APIs or something like that.
Yeah, maybe they wrote the whole code base with no API tests and all, and you're gonna add all
Or
that.
yeah, like endpoint testing. I feel like I don't know. I can't remember exactly what he said.
I see. So your goal is to break into Texas, make six figures in Texas, no taxes or low taxes.
Dude, go to Texas and make as much money as I can for like the next like 5 6 years, and then I'll go somewhere else.
Oh yeah. Okay, what's next now? Like for school and stuff. Like, I know you're gonna watch a movie later. Let's close this out. Oh, I'm gonna stop this recording here. Let's,
I'm gonna next is just I'm gonna get through this semester. I have a pretty heavy semester, 5 courses, 3 computer science courses, 2 electives. Let's get through this semester. Let's have a good summer. That's what I'm
let's
saying. Let's
get
have
it.
work.
It's gonna be a
Let's do
great
some good
summer,
work and let's get some good summertime in, bro. That's the
dude.
next move.
Summer while you're working, you're gonna be able to party hard.
Dude, I'll bottle service is on me
Nah, no,
this
don't
summer,
waste your
man.
money on bottle service. Don't waste it.
Don't worry, we'll go to Hudson's on a Monday.
Yeah.
We'll get the discount.
So yeah, this like it's gonna be good. Like you're gonna be working on the weekends. You can go party. You can go talk to women. All that stuff that we said you couldn't do
Oh,
before,
stuff that I got
you can
declined.
do.
Yeah, the stuff that I had to put on hold. Oh my goodness, man. Time to
But they're gonna
open
be
up.
looking at you different too. Maybe you're gonna have to pay for some date. Are you gonna be taking girls on more dates now that you have the money, or no?
Taking more girls out on dates. To me, I'm always the type of guy that I'll pay for the date if I really like what's going on. But if it's like not that great, I'll just say we'll split the bill. So I'm gonna stick with that strategy.
How do they react to that when you say let's split the bill?
I feel like a lot of times
I mean, like
they're
you already
you
don't
don't have
want to
no
go on a
choice. They
second
have
date.
no choice. What are you gonna do? Like, oh hell no. No, we're gonna split this bill no matter what. Or like you're gonna pay for it no matter what. I'll just be like, what? I can't. I'm not gonna do it.
Did you ever
Yeah.
have one? Like, what was the biggest bill that you had to cover for a date?
Oh my goodness, man. This one I don't even want to say how much money it was. It was pretty embarrassing, but it was like yeah, into the hundreds of
Oh my
dollars.
God,
I don't. But I've also had girls pay for me. I've also had girls pay for my
legend.
food. Pay me like I had a girl who paid. We went out to this Japanese restaurant and the thing was over like $100,
Yeah,
and she was the one who paid for it. She's like, no, please, I was the one who invited us both here.
legend.
Please let me pay for it. I was like, okay.
How do you think being a Node.js backend development is gonna affect your dating life?
Dude, I feel like I can feel my aura point. Dude, I'm not even joking when I'm telling you guys that I'm a bucko, bro. I'm a freaking bucko. So I feel my aura points rising right now, man. I feel like Calgary. Holy, when the summer season comes around, James. Holy smokes! I'm literally gonna be. My stats are gonna be maxed out. My stats are gonna be maxed out. I'm gonna be ready.
That's
I
gonna be
feel like
crazy.
I was like I literally feel like out of all the things, I feel like out of all the things, not having like a professional job was something that always kind of like weighed in my mind a little bit. So now this is good. This is good.
Yeah. Do you think it
Yeah.
helps?
Oh, yo, Paul. Paul. You know what I used to call when I was roofing back in the day to make roofing sound more badass. When a girl asked me what I did, instead of saying roofing, I said I was a high elevation waterproofing technician. And I remember I got a couple of good reactions from that one. Like, what? What do you mean? What? That sounds so crazy. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm on like towers and buildings. I'm waterproofing that stuff to make sure that it doesn't, flood.
What do you think about this? Like, right now, software engineers are really hot on the job market. Everyone's trying to hire them. What about the dating market? Is it? Do you think it's a good, like, girls seek that profession, or it's
Dude,
still kind of
I feel
nerdy?
like, dude, I feel like now the dating market is like so good, bro. I feel like girls' expectations have slowly been plummeting to the floor. I think that girls' expectations are plummeting, man. I feel like girls are more like, I feel like the culture is changing a little bit.
Yeah. What do you mean by that exactly? Like, you don't even have to take them on a
Dude,
date
like
no more.
I feel like girl like I before like before like the typical like I like like he's like a provider, has a he has a good career, has a good relationship with his family, has friends, has a lot of hobbies and activities. I feel like girls are a little more like, bro, this guy is like breathing at this point. He's good. He's good.
Ah, that's too funny. All right, Patrick. What you're gonna go watch a movie now?
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch Mickey 17.
What's that about?
I don't know what it's about exactly, but from the trailer, it looks like it's like in the future, and it looks like workers now instead of like workers get cloned, so workers can do more dangerous jobs. So if there's like some guy named Mickey, and
Mm.
apparent, I think what it is that like there might be a job like, hey, yo, get into that furnace and tell us why it's not turning on, and then this guy will climb into the furnace and they'll turn on, he'll fix it and they'll turn on and they'll kill him. But because he can always make a clone of himself, he can always be doing different dangerous jobs. I
I
think
see.
that's what it is. I can't remember, I don't know exactly. I just saw the trailer one time.
Sounds good. Okay, chat. Last questions before Patrick leaves. Drop everything right now. You're gonna be seeing this guy around for sure. He's
Full
becoming a
advice,
personality on this channel.
full advice, job advice, dating advice, anything.
Yeah.
I'm open to answer.
What do I want to answer? We're gonna get him back on here anyways. We're gonna be. We'll probably do some sessions where we're learning. Let's just that stuff that you mentioned. We should probably like do some on stream. That'd be fun. Like learning some of these backend fundamentals, Node.js, REST APIs, and stuff like that.
I'm down. That sounds like a good idea. I feel like
Yeah.
that'd be really fun.
Yeah, and then like, what's it called? If y'all want to hear more of the dating stuff, we'll definitely do more content. But just subscribe to our OnlyFans. We're gonna start that up soon
Not
too.
our OnlyFans. Patty
Okay.
P. Patty Big P.
All right, Patrick. We're gonna let you go. Thanks for wait. Oh, show us some wrestling stance and. How do you know he's a wrestler?
I think I've seen Ruben. Maybe he just saw my ears, but I think this guy's been on the stream before.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
you've
I've
been on the
mentioned.
stream. This is like
Yeah,
the.
yeah, Ruben. Next stream, I'll show you some wrestling and some jujitsu.
What's your blind dating show gonna be called? Should we run those? That'd be so funny.
A blind dating show. Hmm. A blind dating show. My blind dating. It'd be a blind dating show with actual blind people on it. That's what my blind dating show would be.
Yo, Patrick,
No
are you gonna
people.
get into YouTube at some point?
Maybe we'll see how it goes. I was thinking about doing YouTube, but uh, like I like the form of content that you're making. I like the way that you make your content, and I was like, could I do something similar with jujitsu, but or like basically what I was thinking is that maybe I could do like a stream where I'm talking about like fights or jiu-jitsu matches and just kind of breaking down what they're doing and the techniques and
Mm-hmm.
stuff that they're doing. But I don't know. This job was the first and most important thing to
Yeah,
get.
for sure. Wait, I'm gonna show everyone what content we have lined up. Oh, shoot. We have a lot of crazy content dropping this channel. Y'all gonna be excited for this one. What's your okay? Never mind. This ask that. How many jobs did you apply for before you got a job? Someone asked you that, like before that interview.
Oh, well, I was keeping track of that. I was keeping track of that actually. Let me look. I think I applied to just this year. I think I applied to like 30 jobs, but I think over the course of my university career, ever since I went back to university and started learning computer science, I feel like I've applied to like 50 jobs overall. Let me see here. Yeah, I applied to 20. I applied to 29 jobs
Okay.
from the beginning of February.
Okay, how important is learning databases for sweet intern roles? Very, very important. Like they asked Patrick a database question, so you better know your database. I'm pretty sure that's like table stakes is under. If you're talking about backend development, definitely know HTTP. Definitely know how the client talks to the server. Definitely know a little bit about databases. Definitely know that for sure. Yo, chat. So this is yo, right Q. You got next for training? You want next? Okay, I'm gonna show y'all what we have coming. We have Alpha Code going through a mock interview, designing a Google Calendar. This one was really good. This one's dropping tomorrow, I think. This is one of my favorite ones called Who's Tweaking. This one's dropping too.
Who's tweaking?
Oh really? Hear this. Wait, let me download this one. The hell? This guy in my apartment screaming top of his lungs. Do you hear that or no?
No, I can't hear you. I can't hear that.
Oh, you can't?
No.
It's like basically. Chat, y'all hear it or no? Oh, okay. I don't think you can hear. Somebody was just screaming in the chat.
Was that the person in the background when they were tweaking out?
Yo, Paul, these are scheduled. Yeah, background tweaking out. Yo,
Yeah,
okay.
dude,
This one's really good. I did a mock interview with somebody who's interviewing for a hedge fund, and he did pretty well.
Wanted to make sure it wasn't just a throwaway hack.
What school is he from?
Ivy League school, but he has a final round interview at a hedge fund, and I was like helping him out. I gave him full notes on what he could improve on. He was like pretty happy with the session too. It was pretty sick. But he told me don't drop it before his interview because he doesn't want to give away free alpha, which I thought is funny. He's really thinking like a hedge fund. He's like, drop it after my interview. I don't want to give free game, essentially.
Oh, why? What do you mean? So other people don't apply for the same thing?
Basically, yeah, he didn't want people his competitors to see how he was studying and how he was preparing his questions.
Oh, that's so jokes, man. That's so jokes.
So
yeah, man.
But this is definitely gonna drop. It's just what else? Super Cracked. His is dropping too. We're gonna be talking or his mock coding interview. Patrick, we're gonna get you on a coding interview soon too, like leak code style.
Okay, that sounds good. Right. If you ask me FizzBuzz, I'll answer that question easy peasy.
We got Paul rotating array, and then these were fun. And then like the binary search question. UFC student taking on a coding interview.
Nice.
Lots of.
Nice, dude.
I'm gonna be all the way till March 22. I'm like the next 11 days, and then this weekend I'm gonna shoot even more videos. I'm gonna have videos booked all the way until the end of March. But our goal for this channel is one video every single day for the rest of the year.
Holy.
That's gonna I think that's what's helping right now.
That's gonna be intense. That's good. That's gonna be intense.
I already been dropping a video every day for the last 42 days.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That is crazy. See, that's why I really like that's why I really like the way that you make your content, because it's like I feel like it's really easy to make a lot of hot like the format of your content. It's like I really like it.
Adam, thank you. Yeah, so that's what's dropping. Thanks everyone for hopping on. Might end the stream out right now, but thanks everyone for joining on, asking Patrick all these questions. What's the plan this weekend? What should we do? Oh, this weekend I'm in Chicago. So next weekend, I think maybe we do either a 12-hour stream of behaviorals or 12-hour system design, or we could run like another 12 hours of coding, like whatever y'all want to do.
You going to Chicago? No,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
gonna
going
see
to
Mihal?
Chicago on the weekend. Mihaw's not going to be there, unfortunately. He's going
Oh
traveling
yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
else.
I was just talking to him. Nice.
Or
Why are you
maybe
going
we'll
to
go.
Chicago?
I kind of want to build like more websites and stuff. Do full stack. Like we're trying to do lots of different things in this channel, like AI, web dev, coding interviews, system design. Like this, I want this to do a bunch of random stuff because also I need to learn new stuff too. So
Nice.
I need to actually work on other stuff. So I'll be shooting videos
Let's
on
learn
that.
blockchain stuff. Let's learn blockchain stuff.
I'm down. I'm down. We could research
Nice.
that too. All right,
Nice.
everyone. Thanks for hopping on. Patrick, we'll talk
Thanks,
to you later.
Yo, thanks, James. Thanks for all the help. Thanks, chat, for all the help. I appreciate you guys. Let's
Yeah.
freaking get this money. Let's get this bread, everybody.
Double TC. Let's go. All right,
Peace.
Pat. Talk to you later. All right, chat. Probably gonna end it here. Yo, thanks everyone for helping Patrick get that job too. Like, everyone in the chat was asking really good questions and helping him land that job. This is a team effort at the end of the day. Like, I could only figure out some of the questions, and then, I mean, the chat was asking really good questions. So, yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat. We're gonna come up with some more stuff. We're gonna keep dropping content. Thanks for joining. We're gonna work with more people and get more people offers. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll catch y'all on the next stream. Peace.